Can two guys in their 40s with PhDs make it to Grand Champ starting from Diamond? Meet Chad and Brandon. They're smart and they play Rocket League well, but they're a little bit rough around the edges. They're learning the Pacifist System and they're actually doing a great job, and I'm confident I can take them to the top ranks. Today I'm going to be teaching them offensive defense, how to stop attacks without diving. This is Pacifist System coaching, and by the end of the series, they might be better than you. Let's meet them.
Yeah, so I started playing about 2.5 years ago, just me and my brother and a friend of mine, and it's exactly what you'd expect. We had no idea what we were doing, right? Like, we were just driving the cars around, hitting the ball, and then I started solo queuing for a long time with like lots of stretches where I wasn't playing much. I don't know, low D, like D1, D2 it's rough, right? You get a mix of people who like can flip reset, but literally don't know anything else about how to play the game. And then like boomers like me who are like trying to play good macro because their mechanics aren't great. And then that's when I actually saw one of your videos. I think it was on like a TikTok randomly or something. And then I was like, okay, this is it. This is my goal was actually just like high champ at the time. I was like, you know what? And then I watched your whole series. I was like, I bet I could get to Grand Champ if I really worked on it. And that's when I started like posting in the Discord, and then it's been a totally different game now.
I had been playing this game kind of casually. It was kind of like a fun party game. People would come over the house. We'd play quad screen on the on the single TV and laugh at like how we couldn't hit the ball. And I told my wife when we couldn't travel in that 2020 time, but I had to take 8 days off. I was like, I don't know if you're gonna like this or not, but I think I'm gonna start training Rocket League on these 8 days. I rock climb, right? And so like, do you get your fingers stronger first? Do you learn these techniques first? Are your toes stronger? Are your legs stronger? There are so many things that are needed to get you good at climbing. And Rocket League is kind of the same way, right? Like, you need good ground game. You need to be able to at least get up in the air, but like, where do you start and how do you train, right? And so I learned how to do mechanical things, but like, honestly, it just seemed like, okay, well, the game sense will come. So I got to Champ 2 that way, very pressured. Like, I don't know, you just feel like your heart thumping, right? Like, as you're playing the game. Yeah. That was before the huge reset. And then when they did the huge reset, I had a bad run in my first placement games, and I just kind of was like, what is this game anymore? So I basically stopped playing ranked. Yeah, it's about Diamond 2 now. Found your videos, I don't know, maybe sometime in the fall, almost a year ago, and really got interested in the fundamental aspects of it. Even the simple things, like sitting back and watching people go crazy all over the ball, and you're like, wait, it has to come to me in the center. Like, that really helped kind of focus. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how we can implement the fundamentals to the higher levels.
So most Diamond, and actually all ranked players for that matter, will dive and attack attackers. And statistically, that has never been shown to work ever in any rank, in any tournament. So my goal is to teach Chad and Brandon how to defend the opponent's offense. When they are in the opponent's offense and the opponents own the ball, I'm going to teach them the rules and tips and tricks to do offensive defense and play the ball back to their corner. Most Diamond players panic when they're defending. They either dive or they rotate or they rush off. Here, I'm teaching Chad and Brandon how to funnel and use the funnel to put them into the corner, which is the first real step to pacifist defense. I want to talk to you about probably the most important situation, especially for Diamond. And it's one of the four key situations. It's called offensive defense. Have you heard this term?
No.
Okay. No, not many people have. It's something we go through in the main cohort, but it's really important. So there's four main situations in Rocket League, and that tells you what set of fundamentals. And each sort of one has a completely different set of rules. And the cool thing about that, although it's complicated in certain regard, is that it means that there's built-in rhythm breaks within the game. So when we're defending, we're doing something, and then it's like, oh, we're in defensive defense, so we're going to switch to this strategy. Oh, we're in offensive offense, so we're on this strategy. So this situation here is a really good one. We've got Monkey Moon and Fairy Peak here, and we've got the opponents on the board. So this would, if we're the orange team, we cannot challenge this ball head on. Okay? And this is something people will do. But what the problem is with challenging this ball head on is you have got to hit something perfect. You've got to fly in. And keep in mind, they can move this ball in any way, shape, or form at any second. You've got to hit this ball. You've got to hit it in a way that actually has impact. And by the way, his car's behind it, so who knows what's going to happen. And not only does it need to have impact, you also need to be able to recover to take advantage of that impact, or your teammate does. And this is one of the issues with the game now, is a lot of people will just dive at these balls and get beaten. So whenever you're out there and you see the opponents having the ball, you cannot challenge head on. Unless there's one thing that allows you to challenge head on. Do you know what it is?
I don't.
Chad, do you know what it is?
If you are first man and it's their last man,
Beautiful.
Their first man is upfield.
That is correct. Okay, still there is inherent risk with that, and there are situations we can do to put it in our favor, but that's really the only time. So you can see, boom, that's our first rule. If they own the ball, we only dive if we're against their last man as our first man. So this is perfect from Monkey Moon, and this is exactly what's going to happen. You're going to go in, you cannot challenge the ball. You have to go into an inside shadow, and essentially your goal now is to allow them to play the ball. Because again, any attack on this ball could lead to risk. Our goal when they are on attack and we are in the offensive zone but defending, so offensive defense, is to put the ball into our corner or steal the ball. And we won't go over how to steal the ball yet, but there are some really high level strategies. We'll probably incorporate them when we get to champ. So what we're going to do here is we're going to stay on the inside position. The reason is to block the middle, and our second man, in this case Fairy Peak, we would prefer a little bit more central. They're going to be running down the middle, and second man is pretty much going to be using the middle pad non-stop, collecting pads, just supporting. So you're going to go down the middle if you're Fairy Peak, and you're not going to try and rotate in. The first man is going to try and block. Okay, so imagine I'm Fairy Peak right here, so Monkey Moon's going to block, and then here as the second man, I'm going to shoot around here into deep net, which you know about. And now this allows me to actually come and take the ball if I want, or we'll be here to block the shot. What they've done is really good, but it's levels above where we need to be. So what you'll find if you watch pro lobbies with really good players, smart players I should say, Monkey Moon, Daniel, Beast Mode, those kind of NAS sort of Ruaz defensive first players, you'll see that they'll peel off a second man, which is something we'll get onto later. And what we're going to do is, before you push it, I'm going to sort of sit here. You see this sort of position I'm sat in here, Brandon. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to block the middle. And what you're going to do here, Chad, is you're going to actually allow me to block the middle. So you're going to start playing it to the corner. You're just going to allow that to happen. Okay? Now, it might seem, if you're, thinking about this, or if someone's watching this, no one's going to do that. Trust me, they will do that because it's the path of least resistance. And if they don't do that, that's fine. We've got solutions for that. So once that happens, the other player will end up with the ball, and it's the same thing. You're just going to do that. That is perfect. Now, the idea here is to do exactly what Chad just did, and it's to stay pretty straight with your car. What you don't want to do when shadowing is, if you push that again, Chad, what I don't want to do is I don't want to spend too much time like this. Even though I'm funneling him, I'm turned slightly to the wall. Now, what happens with that exactly is I can be bumped, I can be demoed, I can be ran through, and also I don't have the same mobility if he goes around the back. Now, what you want to do instead, excellent, is you want to do pincering. This is a term you may not know about. So if, let's say, for example, I start here, and I need to get closer for this shadow. If I start doing this, and Chad just pushes it, I'm pretty much screwed. Okay, I'm going to get barreled through. And this is what a lot of people do who are trying to use this style. They'll just turn into this ball, and they'll also side flip from here, and we'll get into that in a second. So we use what's called pincering. And a pincering is you pincer, straighten up. Pincer in, straighten up. Okay, so the idea is you take a few steps to lock in that position if you can't get it straight away. Yeah, okay, you're gonna, perfect. That's it. That's nice. But right there, you can see from my perspective, that was really Really well done there, Chad, because I didn't know if you were going to challenge that ball because you hid yourself behind it by using that move. Okay, so one more time, you bring it back. I'm going to go here. I'll start here, but I could start closer. In, straighten up. In, straighten up. I'm just blocking. And also, you'll see, yeah, perfect. So the idea is not so much that I push him into the corner. I'm guiding him in, but if he pushes that ball into me, I'm straight on. And it will roll off my car as it does. If as soon as I turn, that hitbox narrows and it creates more of a ramp. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Why were we like? What's the value of the pincering itself? The goal is just basically you're just trying to push them to do what you want to do, and the pincering is the way to do that.
Yes, the brilliant question. Yeah, always ask these questions, guys. So the reason is what a lot of people will do if you don't get into the habit of pincering now. You'll end up doing this. So if you're on the ball, Chad, and let's say you're pushing it to the blue net, the other way, so many people will be in a position where they should shadow and they'll do this and get bumped or demoed, right? So you end up building muscle memory of just going direct to the ball. When I show you the side flip stuff, that's what catches so many people out. People don't even notice what's going on. When I show you, you'll be like, okay. So what we're going to do is we can, whichever way, we're going to, we go here and then we're going to come in, straighten up like that.
And I guess each time the guy with the ball is reading that as a like potential challenge, right?
Yes.
Like for you always know it's a fake, but for them, they're reading it as like a potential threat on the ball.
Yeah, and
when he was doing that for me, it was very difficult to like tell when he was going to challenge or not.
The truth is, we're going to build up today to pretty much challenge every single thing. Okay, as long as there are certain rules within our favor. So I'm going to jump into spectate. Next, I'm going to show them the perfect side flip. It's not just for clears, but to continue the ball's energy. This is one move that stops opponents from getting that clean aerial setup. And coming up, you're going to find out why when I'm playing in Grand Champ, in the series that I do, nobody seems to have the ability to do aerials. You may have missed it, but I'm going to show you what we're doing. When I talk about being straightened up, I mean, so my nose is directly down this line right here. Okay. I'm perfectly forward. So if I can get into side flip range, let's say this is side flip range, it's not, and I can straighten up, I don't move anymore because I don't want to even make it any more mechanical. All I'm doing is I've got accelerate, potentially boost, and I'm thinking about timing this side flip. We'll get into in a second.
I see.
So if we run that again, Chad, just to show you a little bit more as well. So let's say we're running this drill, and I'm going to go pincer in, straighten up, and that's about it for me. I'll just go from here. I'll try not to do any more because that will become this, and that's the idea. And this is going to create false aerials, and I'm going to get into that in a second. So let's just do two more back and forth. And here's the trick I've never seen anyone teach: how to prevent aerials before they happen. And with the Pacifist System, it's not about challenging, it's about never giving them that clean setup in the first place. Now watch how subtle this is. The reason this side flip is so important where I'm squared up, let me just stop this ball a second, where I'm squared up like this, is because my flip will basically take the momentum they're given and just move it up and away. That's really important, that key difference. So I want you to look at it like this, okay? I'm going to try and show you this. Imagine you're defending. This is what gets everyone out. So I'm going to push this and I'm going to defend it myself, just so you're aware. Okay. But I'm going to do the side flip everyone does, and I want you to look at how it rolls up the wall, because this is like the key. This is what people don't know. So I'm a normal player. I'm going to do that. Now, how does that roll up the wall?
It's pretty much flat, like you went over it.
Yeah, but also pretty much perfect, right? As in it went straight up and straight down. I mean, it literally had no angle, and it was beautiful. Now, you imagine if you're an offensive player and someone does that, you're going to aerial it. So a lot of people will say, I'm doing the same as you, but the opponents seem to be able to hit triple flip resets. How come your players, even in Grand Champ, never go for aerials? And it's because what I'm doing is so deceptive, because I'm not giving them the same look, but it's so similar, it's hard to see. So now I want you to look at it from this perspective. I'm going to do the perfect side flip instead. So they're pushing the ball like this. I come here, and now I do the side flip. Notice the way the ball's rolling still. So yes, it goes up.
They can't get under that at all.
Exactly.
They can't really get under it.
Now what can happen if it's quite speedy and I hit that side flip? It can go really high up, but it's still moving away. And people go, I can aerial this. They cannot. They're dreamers, okay?
Yeah.
So they're going to go for an impossible aerial. So it baits out mechanics that people can't do, but they think they can, purely because no one's doing that side flip. because they're
Hey,
so.
where'd you get that on your car again? At like the front, back, or just straight down the middle? Like what was? I missed the kind of little intricate.
Oh,
part.
sorry. What was that? Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, like so to get that like little parabola like type move on there instead of straight up, it's just because it was the side flip. Like it's not on a particular part.
No,
of your car,
it's just
side
it's literally the
flip.
side of the car. It's because
Okay.
I'm not fighting the momentum. So because the ball's going forward, you see the ball's going forward, and it's not the best there because it's there we go. So because it's going forward and I'm side flipping, I'm just giving it a lane change. But what most people are doing, the ball's moving forward and they're turning into it and they're fighting it, and it stabilizes it, right? So that changes the game. Now you can think a little bit more outside the box, and this is something I added in recently. I call it an open defensive position. So let's say you've got low momentum on this ball and you want to hit the ball away and you want to keep momentum. I actually now have started to jump and rotate inwards because now that side flip is pushing it away. So it's actually quite a strong move. So if I can get close enough, I'll turn like that and it will actually give it like quite a lot of energy away if it's a slow ball. You see that? Do you see the difference there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you're doing
And why do you like that better there than like a
So,
just like
because okay, I'll show you. If you get on the ball here, Brandon, and you're trying to control it slowly, this is where this one plays in better. Right, so you're on the ball
Like
and you're
from here?
absolutely, but you're playing it really slowly, okay? And I'm like, oh god. Now if I go super slow, it's not great, okay? Yeah, exactly. You got bumps. Now it's still slow, but I go like this. Now I'm forcing you to move with me. So you think you're attacking, but I'm trapping. That's what we want to keep creating, and this is all on offensive defense. Offensive defense is the biggest part of this system because it's something that no one does.
Like, what would the whole sequence look like? Let's say this is like a real game, right? And I'm like pushing it. Let's say I'm like pushing it down, right? What's the sort of?
I come here and I get real close.
Down, you're doing this,
and now I wouldn't go for there.
There you go. Okay, so now I'm up here. Now you get the boost. Yep. Okay, this is exactly. Yep.
And we're off.
Perfect.
Okay. Now you probably heard me say I can't do it yet. I can't do it yet. Why couldn't I do the side flip yet? Do you want to have a guess why I couldn't do a side flip at a certain moment in time? It was quite tricky to spot. The reason I couldn't do a side flip is because you were here with the ball, right on this ramp. This side flip here is too dangerous. One, it could stick me to the wall. Two, it could pinch. Okay. And three, you can't create anything from there. So there's no danger.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for you to come onto the green grass and anywhere from basically here. Let me stop it. But yeah, like here towards anywhere closer to the net, I will side flip. Because now it'll move it up and away and I'm back in. Up and away and back in. This was just the first step. And over the next few months, I'm coaching these guys all the way to Grand Champ using the Pacifist System. Following along with the physical book that you can get from airchargedrl.com. If you want to learn more and you don't want to go for the book straight away, still head to airchargedrl.com where you can download the first 3 pages free and get email updates showing you some tips and tricks and secrets. Or you can watch the full uncut sessions of my training with Chad and Brandon and have access to their full write-ups via the Patreon. Thanks for watching. Look after yourself.